Oh.
Right, so today I'll be blabbering about the Motospeed CK103, and from far off it doesn't seem to be lacking anything, and on the majority it doesn't. At first glance I couldn't overlook the premium build of the keyboard. At the back you have plastic, yes, but it is a good quality one, and to the plus it doesn't push the weight of the keyboard. You have two rubber stoppers and a slightly raised panel with two kickstands, which gives the keyboard a standard height jump of approximately 1 inch. These do a remarkable job and the desk drag is actually pretty minimal. The keyboard has a nice, relatively thick cable which is not braided. It is a bit tough to route around the desk, but it's not something I'll crap on. Flipping onto the front and you won't fail to notice the extremely gamery look, but it is a thing common for literally every low price mechanical keyboard. I personally didn't like it at first, but I grew into it. Right, so one thing I really like about this keyboard is that it is pretty small. It has a really small footprint, obviously given that it is a full size keyboard with all the number pad on the side. This is because it has the keys pushed right to the edge of the frame and it does look really premium. The backplate is a really solid gunmetal grey sheet. It helps give the board a solid frame with negligible flex. Shamelessly, the look somewhat resembles to that of Corsair K95. I say that because of the elevated bar on the top. It doesn't have any functionality advantage, but it does look fire. Now comes probably the most irritating part of the keyboard, which I have mentioned earlier in this video, but it is the gaming font. Not only the font of the keyboard but the Motospeed logo up top center, it is in chrome and is definitely showing off the gaming characteristics of CK103. As I said earlier, I got used to the gaming font on it, but there were small things that came out as a sore thumb to me, such as the comma and the full stop that looked like 98% similar, which was confusing at first, but again, I barely look at that while I'm typing now. The key layout is nothing out of the box. It is a standard full keyboard layout with 108 switches. One thing I would have liked is a separate multimedia control buttons on the keyboard itself. I mean, there are function switches up top which you can use by holding the function key, but I feel separate ones would have been a bit better. But what makes it mechanical? Of course, the switches themselves. So the CK103 is available in two switches option, the blue, the red. Both are OTMU switches, which may sound like a bit they are not cherry switches, and they are not. They are a well recognized brand and these switches are not at all different from its rival switches. Now that aside, I personally went for the blue switches and I am glad I did. Blue switches are known for being a bit hard to subtle touches with a relatively high actuation force and a Midas touch when it comes to superb tactile feedback. Typing on a blue switch is literally the best thing ever. And yeah, red switches do give a competitive edge while gaming, but blue switches are not very different when playing in real life at home. It makes gaming so much more effective. I know a typing test would make it all matter, so voila. The keys have a floating look as they don't have any frame covering their surrounding, and I must say, this does give it a futuristic look. The keycaps are themselves pretty decent. They are double shot BBT caps which allow good light pass through and makes it safe from wear and tear or fading of letters from daily use. The package also contains a keycap puller which I was pumped to see. Now what kind of a gaming keyboard would it be if it doesn't have backlighting? The CK103 has most of the lighting jazz you can ask for, and to be precise, it has 14 light modes right off the box and you can cycle through them or adjust them right from the keyboard with minimal use of the driver that the Motospeed provides, which I'll talk about later in this video. As you can see, I have been showing you all the presets, and yes, these fascinating names are given by the company themselves. You can change the set by holding the function key and pressing the INS key, that is the insert key. Now in some presets you can change the color if supported by the presets by holding the function key and pressing delete button. You can change the direction of the preset by using the arrow keys in the modes such as the light wave. Now one of my favorite mode is the game master. If you fail to notice, the number have some names on the game assigned to them. You can change them as they are or set a completely new mode assigned to the number 620. Now that is really cool. You can record your key press by pressing function and HM and as the 4 LEDs start flashing, you set all the colors and repeat the same and save the preset as you want. One thing I didn't quite like, but it's more of nitpicking here, the 4 LED lights are a bit too close to the switches below it. At a normal distance where your eyes are off the board, they just are not visible. But yeah, as I said, this is more of picking up the faults for the sake of it. Enough said about the lighting. I mean, whatever you said, it does look absolutely gorgeous. Now Motospeed also provides a driver for this keyboard, and there is rarely anything that you can't change on the keyboard that you have on this driver. It's super gamery yet again, and it does let you set macro keys as per the requirements, which you can also import externally, and the color adjustments are just faster this way. So the software is not that bad, just relatively basic. And that, my friend, concludes my say for the Motospeed CK103. I can boldly say that this is one of the best keyboards you can buy if you're a bit on a budget. The company have shaved off features at the right parts to keep the cost under control, and it just looks wow. It really goes extremely well with my setup and would with yours too, but getting one for yourself in India is a bit time consuming. You can get one from banggood.com. Amazon either has it out of stock or it's just too costly. You can easily order it from Banggood, but it is imported and it does take time. So don't say I didn't warn you. Obviously links will be down below, use that for the lowest price. So thank you for watching. I am Samyak Bakliwal here. If you like this video, drop a like down below. If you like my content, subscribe, and I will catch you guys later.